How Seven Sisters Became Part of India. History of Northeast India.
Northeastern India is an important part of India's map puzzle. You may find it interesting and at the same time strange that our northeast region, which is more than 8% of India in terms of area, is almost disconnected from India geographically.
That's something that bothers me, but it's Bangladesh, which is right there. So, of course, I mean, I was like, why the heck did India, when it partitioned, have Bangladesh and then Pakistan separate? And then all of a sudden, this decides to be a part of it. It was weird to me. It was weird to me. I guess I'll finally learn.
This region shares borders with 5 different countries, but is connected to India only by the 22 kilometers wide Siliguri corridor. This border is one of the most fascinating border arrangements in the world. This type of arrangement is called a quasi-enclave or strategic exclave. That is, territories which are not completely cut off from their main country but are connected to their mainland only by a small narrow corridor or strip. Due to foreign land all around, these territories remain kind of isolated. This type of border arrangement can be seen in some other countries as well. Tajikistan's Fergana Valley is connected to its mainland by just 30 kilometers wide corridor. Similarly, Uzbekistan's 4 eastern subdivisions including capital city Tashkent are connected to its mainland by just 45 kilometers wide stretch. Afghanistan's Wakhan district is also connected to its mainland by just 18 kilometers wide corridor. Although all these are very small regions, Northeast is special here. It is much bigger than these. More than 5.3 crore people live here, about 4% of India's population. Although India itself is one of the most diverse countries in the world geographically, culturally, and linguistically. But Northeast India adds an additional layer to this diversity of India. In fact, every state here has multiple ethnic groups, each with their own unique language, custom, and tradition, like Nagaland, one of the small states. But there are 17 officially recognized tribes here. In fact, different languages are spoken in each district.
That's just like the Native Americans and all their individual tribes all having their individual languages all being recognized. Just there's so much, but a lot of them tend to share a lot of the cultural similarities. Unlike in India, where you literally can go to a different state and it's like you're in a completely different nation because the customs and everything change. And with Native Americans, it was all pretty much similar. Sure, there were some cannibalistic tribes. There were some kind of more vegetarian exclusive tribes, but all their like rituals and everything were pretty much the same. We're pretty much the same throughout.
Adjacent Arunachal Pradesh also has 26 major tribes, and this state is probably the most religiously diverse state of India. Christianity, Hinduism, and indigenous Dinipolo, all 3 religions live neck to neck here. The hills of Meghalaya and Mizoram have been inhabited for thousands of years by distinct ethnic groups like Khasi, Garo, Jainsha, and Lusai Mizo. They have their own rich history and tradition. In Assam, Manipur, and Tripura, the geography decides the ethnic composition. Here, different ethnic groups live in the river plains and valleys, like Ahomia, Bodos, Meets, and Celtis, and different ethnic groups live in the hills, like Dimasa, Kachari, Tripuri, Kuki, and Nagas. By the way, let us tell you that in this video, apart from Seven Sisters, we will also consider Sikkim and North Bengal up to Siliguri corridor as part of Northeast. Although at present this region is administered under the state of West Bengal. But this region is more related to Northeast. The native residents here, Kokrapavanshi, Mek, Raba, Garo, Limba, Bhutia, Gorkha, and Lepcha, are quite different from the Bengali people of the rest of Bengal, both linguistically and culturally. Whereas Sikkim, which is the second smallest state of India, has 12 official languages.
What's the smallest?
One of the highest in India. In such a situation, the question arises that how did such a diverse region become a part of India?
Yeah.
This story is much more complex than you are expecting. This is the story of northeastern India, from ancient tribes, to forgotten empires, to colonial struggles, to post-independence chaos that reshaped the map of India and changed the entire future of this country forever. My name is Fennel, and you have just joined the Graphic Earth. The demographic history of Northeast India has been very interesting. 4 different human races have migrated here from 4 directions in different time periods. These 4 different human groups had conflicts with each other.
Of course.
They intermixed. Together they established many civilizations and then destroyed them. To understand
Conflict,
Northeast, we
romance,
have to go back 10,000
civilization.
years, when
Great.
the last ice age ended. There are some theories, but it is believed that the Austro-Asiatic human group first set foot in the Northeast. This group had migrated here from Southeast Asia. Their descendants are the Khasi and Jainsha tribes who live in the eastern hills of Meghalaya today. The Austric tribes lived alone in the northeast for thousands of years. Some communities moved further from here towards eastern India, which were the Santali and Munda people, who are today the major tribal groups of eastern India. Then around 3,000 to 4,000 years ago, the migration of the Sino-Tibetan group from the Yangtze and Yellow River Basin in western China towards the south began. They entered northeast India via the Brahmaputra, Chidwin and Iravati river valleys and gradually started encroaching the habitats of the existing Austric settlers, due to which the Austro-Asiatic group had to take refuge in the mountains. Today, the descendants of Sino-Tibetan Tibeto-Burman group form the second largest ethnic group in northeast India. Major tribal groups of northeast from Bodo, Dimasa, Tripuri, Naga, Meet, Mizo to Arunachali tribes are descendants of Tibeto-Burman group. Then around 2000 to 3000 years ago, migration of Indo-Aryan ethnic group from Ganga Basin to northeast started. Some of these groups mixed with the local population here and started establishing different kingdoms. Ahomia, Celts and Bengali people are descendants of these Indo-Aryan.
That's what I feel. I feel like it should never be takeover. It should be integration. That's how it should be. That's how a civilization should progress. Integration. When you cross a border, you integrate into that community. I think that's why Britain failed with India, because they never bothered integrating. They saw it as complete different entity, and that they were superior of. So that way they never actually integrated. They never actually did anything to benefit, and never actually put any positives back into India. It was all just take.
Groups who form the largest ethnic group in northeast today. And lastly, around 1,000 years ago, Thai major people came from South China, Myanmar and Thailand who belonged to Kradai ethnic group. They mixed with the existing population and established the most successful kingdom of northeast, Ahom kingdom. However, Ahom kingdom was also not the only kingdom of northeast. Even before this, some kingdoms were established in the northeast. Different tribes have been living in the northeast for thousands of years. But the first organized kingdom or state of the northeast was established around 1900 years ago. Kanglei Park, the ancient kingdom of Manipur. According to Chaitharul Khumba, the historical text of Manipur, the first king of the Meet dynasty, Donga Line Pakampa, established Kanglei Park on the banks of the Imphal River. During this time period, the indigenous religious civilization of the Meet community began to develop and a distinct administrative system was established. Many scriptures were written in the ancient Meet language, which is one of the oldest scriptures not only in the northeast but in the whole of India. It can be said that the Meet community established the first organized civilization of the northeast. Then around 1600 years ago, the Kamarupa kingdom was established in the Brahmaputra valley. Along with Devaka, it was one of the first kingdoms of Assam. Actually, Kamarupa came into existence as a vassal state of the Gupta Empire. During the time of Samudragupta, the second emperor of the Gupta Empire, King Pushyavarman established the first Kamarupa dynasty, the Varman dynasty. But later, after the decline of the Gupta Empire, Kamarupa remained an independent kingdom for most of its time period. At its peak, it covered most of the northeast, Bangladesh and Bhutan. Kamarupa, which is also alternatively called Prag Jyotisha, existed in the northeast for nearly 800 years. The Kamarupa dynasty played an important role in developing the art, culture, literature, and religion of Assam. Hinduism and Buddhism flourished here during this time period. Proper administrative and governance systems and well-structured revenue systems were established. The famous and sacred Kamakya temple of Assam was also built in this time period. In the 13th century, the Delhi Sultanate took control of most of the Ganges basin. Turkic general Bakhtiar Khilji defeated the Sena dynasty and established Muslim.
That is fast. I was thinking it was going to be a quick history about, then when the partition happened, this is what happened with Eastern India, northeastern India, apparently. Like, the Seven Sisters. This is how it became a part. But no, this is a massive history of, well, their entire history. Yeah, that's not very well thought out of me to explain it. But yeah, it's just, I was expecting, this is how it ended up with that weird little connection that's pairing these two together. Why Bangladesh is in the center of it when the partition happened. Because Bangladesh was partitioned off, right? Because it was, it was a part of Pakistan. It was part of Pakistan. And then which was weird to me when I first heard that. But then it got freed due to India's help, and now has become basically a problem in India's side, which happens. That's the thing. India's learning kind of what the U.S. took for still hasn't learned. You never get involved in another nation's politics. Let them fall due to their own hubris. You let them fall due to their own arrogance. If they want to have aid, they need to change the way their policies work or the way things work. But yeah, that's just a whole different thing.
Political rule in Bengal for the first time, and this is where the demographic change and Islamization of Bengal began. This is the starting point of an important historical event because this demographic change would later lead to the partition of India, and the northeast would get these weird borders. After the fall of Bengal, the Kamarupa kingdom also faced continuous Muslim invasion from the western side. At the same time, due to internal power struggles and conflicts in the kingdom, Kamarupa dismantled and was divided into many small political entities. ruled by indigenous communities and tribes like Sutia, Kok, Kamada, Jaintia, and Dimasa Kachari Kingdom. And as we discussed earlier, infiltration of Thai major tribes from northern Myanmar started in the eastern region. Thai tribes came to the northeast due to power struggle in Maung Mao Kingdom, led by King Kalang Sukpa to establish their new kingdom. On the way, many Thai chiefs and common followers joined Sukpa. Crossing the Patkai Range, he reached Brahmaputra Valley in the year 1228. Sukpa and the Thai tribes neither fought any war nor did any raid or conquer. They came here as farmers, to settle permanently on the basis of their agricultural skills. They settled in the unpopulated area.
Again, that's how it should be. Integration. That's how it should always be. You should always integrate into a community. You don't conquer a community. A lot of people don't, again, that's why Britain failed. They didn't integrate. Again, that's what I said. They saw India as a gold mine, and they harvested it for all it was worth. They didn't care about the people. They didn't care about, building a community there. No, they just wanted to take. They just wanted to take. They just wanted to take. And there are always people with those mindsets that just want to take. They see something of profit and they want it for themselves. They don't see a value in actually being a part of that civilization, because of course that civilization is medieval. I am the superior civilization. So that becomes an issue. That becomes a massive issue.
On the banks of the old Dahang River. The Thai tribe developed friendly relations with local tribes like the Barahi and the Marans and shared their wet rice cultivation method to increase the agricultural output. Actually, the Ahoms were responsible for converting the alluvial forests and swampy plains of Upper Assam into flat rice fields. The Thai tribe adopted an inclusive strategy. Instead of conflicting with the neighboring native tribes, they began to assimilate them through Ahomization. Now the Ahom kingdom began to establish itself as the official successor of the Kamarupa kingdom. But while Kamarupa's political system was based on the North Indian political system, where Sanskrit and Prakrit-speaking Indo-Aryans dominated, the Ahom kingdom adopted an alternate model based on Southeast Asian political structure, which provided a kind of space for the participation and development of different indigenous tribal communities. From 1400 onwards, Kuki and various Chin tribes started migrating from Myanmar to Manipur and Lushai Hills in the northeast. Some of these groups were to create the Mizo identity later on. However, there is no special mention of the Arunachal region in most of the available historical records. This region was inhabited by Tani and Tibetan tribes, and it is mentioned only as a trade route between the Ahom and Tibetan kingdoms. Here in the Tripura region, Tripura tribes have been living for the last 2,000 years. According to the oral history, stories and mythology of Tripura, Tripuri civilization has been one of the oldest. The native language Kok Borik also had its own script, Koloma script. The history of the Tripuri people and many Borik literature were written in this script. In the early 1400s, Tripuri chief Shenthunpa, also known as Mahamanikia, he established the Tripura kingdom by defeating the neighboring tribes. The next few centuries were very turbulent in the region. Kingdoms like Ahom, Sutia, Kachari, Jaintia, Kangolpak, Naga, Thipra, and Kok kingdoms formed alliances and clashed with each other for dominance.
Of course. It's sad how we can never be civilized. We always have to resort to barbarism. We always do. No matter how we try to integrate, in the end, there's always going to be groups of people that see it, I can take advantage of this due to differences between communities. I mean, it happens in politics all the time. It happens nationwide. It happens statewide. It happens citywide. It happens territory-wide. It happens. It happens. And I find it ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Because it's like, oh, they were doing great. They showed up, they integrated, good. They showed up, integrated, good. They showed up, integrated, good. Oh, now they started to form alliances and fight each other. Of course. Of course.
Prince Sudongpa grew up in a Brahmin household in Haban due to family politics and crisis in the Ahom kingdom at the end of the 14th century. Brahmin influence started to prevail in the Ahom kingdom when he became king. Gradually, the Ahom kingdom's alliances with the neighboring tribes started breaking and conflicts with them started increasing. For the next 100 years, the kingdom suppressed rebellious Naga groups. In the 15th century, the Ahom kingdom expanded dramatically in a very short period under King Seungmun. First the Sushas, then the Kacharas, Barabayans and the even Kamada kingdoms were defeated, and then the Ahoms absorbed them. Due to this, the Assamese people became the majority in the kingdom and the Ahoms themselves became the minority. In fact, at some point the Thai Ahoms were not even 10% of the total population in the kingdom. At that time, the Ahom royal family constantly improved its relations with the Brahmins so that it could get the support of the Indo-Aryanized tribal groups and remain in power. Now the reverse of Ahomization began. The Ahom kings started adopting Hinduism. The Assamese language entered the Ahom court for the first time, and then gradually it replaced the Thai Ahom language. On this side, after 1600, a significant part of the subcontinent came under Mughal control. After this, the Mughals became interested in the Brahmaputra Valley and an important Mughal conflict began which was to last for the next 100 years. A series of invasions and conflicts took place between the Ahoms and the Mughals to maintain control over the Brahmaputra
AI
Valley.
is so funny sometimes.
The Ahoms had excellent knowledge of the valley's geography and
He was riding the front of the ship. The first one, it was like the front of the ship was firing cannons.
Next 100 years. A series of invasions and
like
conflicts took place
you
between
see
the
how the
Ahoms
front of the ship is just like shooting cannons, and then the next one there's like someone riding the front of the ship.
Maintain control over the Brahmaputra Valley. The Ahoms had excellent
It's
knowledge of the
Luffy!
valley's
It's
geography and of
Luffy!
transportation and
Oh
warfare
my
through
gosh.
rivers. Due to strong leadership, strategic guerrilla
Oh,
warfare,
AI.
and unity, the Ahom kingdom
That's so
defended its
funny.
kingdom against the Mughals every time. Despite being much smaller than the Mughal Empire, the Ahom kingdom defeated the Mughal Empire many times. In 1682,
Good for them.
during the Battle of Edikali, the Ahoms permanently drove the Mughals out of Assam. After this, the Mughals never entered Assam. During this time period, Sikkim also started to become active. Due to the Yellow Heart-Red Heart conflict in Tibet in the early 17th century, many Tibetan refugees, i.e. Bhutias, migrated to Sikkim. Before this, Lepcha, Limbu and Magar communities had already been playing an independent village-wise role in Sikkim for centuries. Tibetan Bhutias promoted Buddhism here, and Tibetan Lamas started efforts to establish a Buddhist kingdom in Sikkim. In 1642, Phatsong Namgyal Damshang became the first Chogyal i.e. king of the kingdom of Sikkim. Lepchas and Limbus collectively accepted him as the supreme leader. But the Magar community did not get along with the Bhutias and they had to leave Sikkim after losing to Tibetan forces. However, after this, the kingdom of Sikkim had to face invasions from Nepali Gorkhas and Bhutanese from both sides many times. On this side, around 1700, Meet King Medingug Jairongba of Kangalpak adopted Hinduism for the first time. Although he was kind of liberal, he did not impose his religion on the local people of the kingdom, as a majority of the Medikal still followed indigenous cinema. But Charai Rongba's successor, his son Pamheba, was quite different. Pamheba came into contact with Bengali Hindu Gaudiya Vaishnavism preacher Shantidas Gosain, who came from Sylhet in 1747. Pamheba made Gaudiya Vaishnavism the official state religion of Kanglei Pak, replacing Cynicism. He changed his name from Pamheba to Garib Niwas and also officially changed the name of the kingdom from Kanglei Pak to adopt the Sanskrit name Manipur. The original script of the Meet language was changed to the Bengali Eastern Nagari script, and many ancient Meet Mek script documents and literature were also destroyed. This was one of the big cultural losses in Manipur's history. However, the subsequent expansion...
Yep, that's one of the saddest things that happened throughout history. One of the saddest things. And it wasn't just like the Western culture trying, it was just people who conquered always wanted to burn what came before it. They want to be the one remembered through time. They want to be known as the, well, look at Gandhi, the father of a nation. They want to be known as the one who's brought about this freedom, this livelihood. That's what they want to be known. They want to burn everything prior so that way anyone only knows them. And I think that's incredibly sad. I think that's incredibly sad that people have done that. But it's just the way it is. I mean, again, I'd probably fall victim to something like that. If I could, I'm trying to think of something that would be similar. That I would be willing to sacrifice the history of something in order to take the place of it. But that's the thing. I don't view it that way. I don't care much for like I want my wife to remember me. I would want my children to remember me. I'd want my family to remember me. That's it. I don't think it's important for eons down the road that I'm remembered as like this great commentator on nonsensical random videos online. Like that would be ridiculous. That'd be ridiculous. But that's the thing. It's just like I would never want to subvert someone or take their place. I'd like to just do my thing and continue. But I'm content. A lot of people who do that kind of thing aren't content. They want to be known as the only one. They want to be known as the creator of this area when so many things happened to create that place. When so many battles were fought to create what happened. When so many, and still struggles happen to this day. Even though there is unification, there is still struggles to this day happening all over the world. Even though people have drawn their lines, have drawn their borders, there's still struggles going on. To this day. There's still qualms and skirmishes and all these problems. All these problems. Sad. Do you ever sleep? Yes, I sleep. I sleep quite a lot.
Vaishnavism gave Manipur a different unique identity. During this period, the dance drama Manipuri Raslila developed, which is today one of the classical dances of India. From the time of Pamba, the
Those
kingdom of
dresses are
Manipur
weird.
started having conflicts with the neighboring kingdom of Burma. Although earlier there were deep relations between the two kingdoms, there were many intermarriages between the royal families. But due to this, the family politics between the kingdoms deteriorated the relations between the kingdoms. Both the kingdoms invaded each other many times and occupied each other's regions. After 1760, Bengal fell to the British. On this side,
We don't need tribal wars in 2026. We don't need tribal wars ever. That shouldn't be a thing. That shouldn't be a thing. I mean, I'm someone that's kind of against war to begin with. The only things that I believe in defense, and I believe in like strategic strikes. If the government knows something, then it makes sense for it to act on it. But other than that, there should never be that kind of thing. There should never be this like initiate starting strike, but that's never going to be the case. That's never going to be the case. 99.9999999, no, basically infinity percent will never be remembered. Let's just let that sink in. I just do my best and forget the rest. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with being forgotten. It's like in the movie Coco. The only sad thing is if your family forgets you. Oh my gosh, I think of Coco and thinking of family forgetting me. That's getting me. That's getting me. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like a lot of people want to be this great figure. But a lot of people, once they get it, they realize they never truly wanted it, or they feel like they're missing something in life because they don't have the like small life family dynamic, which is truly what most people seek. What most people truly seek. A lot of people don't know that's what they want until they get it, or until it's too late to get it.
power struggles started in the important kingdoms as well. The Southeast Asian pie system on the basis of which the important kingdoms were established had now become outdated and kind of discriminatory in this social environment. Basically, under the pie system, any able person who was not a Brahmin or an upper caste noble was used for labor services or recruitment in the army, who was called pie. Due to this, conflict increased between the Mau Maurya Pakes and the Ahom kings. Mau Maurya Vaishnavites had 17 followers. The Ahom militia consisted of many professional Ahom nobles and officers, and they were against the orthodox Hindu groups of the kingdom and the Shaktism following important royalty and kings, which ultimately resulted in the Mau Maurya rebellion, which lasted for 36 years. This rebellion brought the important kingdom to its weakest point. The economy was completely destroyed and the population of the kingdom, which was around 24 to 30 lakhs before the rebellion, was reduced to half by the end of
just
the
a bunch of
rebellion, as
random
many people were
nonsense.
killed and many had to migrate to neighboring kingdoms for survival. In the early 19th century, a situation like civil war arose between the Manipuri princes for capturing the throne. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the Burmese king Bodwapaya reinvented Manipur in 1819. After the occupation of Manipur, Bodwapaya moved towards the Ahom kingdom, which was already weakened due to rebellion. Burma also occupied the Ahom kingdom, and along with it the neighboring Kachar and Jaintia kingdoms also fell prey to the Burmese Empire. From 1890 to 1826, most of the northeast was under Burmese occupation. In Manipur, it is called Chahi Ter Kutakba, or 7 years of devastation. For Assam and specifically Manipur, it was one of the worst phases of history. Thousands of Ahomia and Manipuri locals became victims of violence and assault by Burmese soldiers, and many had to flee the kingdom. However, after occupying Jaintia and Kachar, Burma came directly to the border of British Bengal. Burmese aggression increased the pressure on British Bengal, which led to the First Anglo-Burmese War. This war was one of the most expensive wars for the British in the history of the British Raj. About 15,000 European and Indian soldiers died and unknown numbers of Burmese soldiers and civilians. The British suffered a loss of about 1 billion euros at that time in today's terms, due to which a kind of economic crisis arose in British India. However, after this the Burmese Empire weakened. In 1826, the Treaty of Yandaba was signed, in which Burma handed over Assam, Manipur, and Arakan to the British.
So, here, take
Starting
it back.
the British rule in the northeast, the plains of the northeast had easily come under British control. But the hills were still independent, and actually the hill tribes resisted British occupation a lot. It was quite challenging for the British to deal with the hill tribes. Many times the Jaintia kingdom kidnapped British officers from Salat and sacrificed them. Naga tribes attacked British Assam many times and had many violent conflicts with the
Good for
British.
them.
Mizo tribes from Lushai Hills also raided and looted British territory in Kachar Plains many times. But these hill tribes neither had as many resources as the British nor advancement. Gradually, many hills came under British control.
And the sad thing is, the majority of the soldiers in the British Army in India were Indian. So you're literally having to, well, what would end up becoming your own people. What would end up becoming your own people. It's just crazy. Like the civil war that was orchestrated by Britain. it was orchestrated by Britain in order to control India. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
After violent battles and wars. However, some kingdoms like Kingdom of Manipur, Kingdom of Tripura, Union of Khasi states, Cooch Behar and Kingdom of Sikkim remained as princely states. However, the tribes of the northeast did not give up so easily. Tribal societies had never accepted British interference in their territory. Their rebellion and conflict against the British continued. Like Khasi Rebellion, Kuki Rebellion. So the British adopted a different strategy. They started sending Christian missionaries from America and Europe to the hills of the northeast. The British supported and sponsored missionaries to convert indigenous tribes to Christianity.
I hate it. I hate it when people use religion as an act of warfare. I hate it. Like, if the missionaries decide to travel there, then a missionary's not going to say no to being used as a tool to go and spread the word of God. But I hate it when they do that. I hate it when they do that. It's absolutely insane and aggravating. The world is so much divided. The world will always be divided. The thing is, people need to understand that even though we'll never see eye to eye, we can accept each other as a neighbor. That's just what needs to happen. We'll never see eye to eye, but we just need to accept each other as a neighbor. Yes, your neighbor will annoy you when they play music really loud, but they're still your neighbor. They're still your neighbor.
According to them, the tribals were still so-called uncivilized. Missionaries were a soft tool for the British to spread their influence in the local population without any direct military conflict. Missionaries established many churches and schools and promoted English education. The expansion of Christianity also gave some benefits to the northeastern society. Many unusual practices like headhunting, slavery, and polygamy, which were common in many tribal communities, were banned. Education was promoted, due to which one of the highest literacy rates can be seen in the northeastern states today. On this side, economic development also started in Assam during the British rule. After the discovery of tea, large-scale tea plantations started in Brahmaputra and Barak Valley. Oil and coal reserves were also discovered in Assam and many industries were established here. Now a large number of labor force was needed for this. So the migration and settlement of Bengali Muslims and Hindus from neighboring East Bengal to Assam and neighboring regions started. The British supported Muslim migration so that they could get economic benefits. But Muslim settlement added another layer of complexity in the northeast. This was going to create an even bigger conflict in the future. Because Muslims migrated in such large numbers and due to high fertility rate, their numbers increased so much in a few decades that a complete demographic change started taking place in many regions of the northeast and Muslims started becoming a majority, due to which their conflict with indigenous tribal communities started increasing. The time of independence for resources and political representation was coming near. According to the 1941 census, now in Assam province there were 44% Hindus and about 34% Muslims while the rest were Christians and tribal communities. Partition of India was decided on the basis of religion and political tension started in Assam. Assam Congress wanted Assam to be a part of independent India due to its Hindu majority. Whereas Muslim League, which had the support of Bengali immigrants, wanted Assam to be a part of East Pakistan. Apart from this, another discussion was going on here specifically among the hill tribes like Nagas and Mizos that considering the demography of Assam and Northeast, it should be made a separate independent country instead of making it a part of India or Pakistan. The status of Assam province was not clear. The last decision was left to the last Governor General of British India Mountbatten, who decided in June.
It's so weird. Why'd they have a person that has no concept choose? I mean, that's how you ended up with the whole Kashmir issue. They had no concept of the actual turmoil, of the actual struggle, of the actual problems to lead. The partition was just barbaric to begin with. It shouldn't have been done. It shouldn't have been given a week. They should have sat down and spent more time there. But I swear, like after World War II, the Empire of Britain knew what they had been doing in India would come to light, and the rest of the Western world would have burned them for it. They would have butchered them for basically a war profiteers, harvester of a nation, you know, that kind of stuff. Well, was on me, but gone now. They would ridicule them for that. So they wanted to get out as quickly as possible before the state of India was known to the rest of the world. But with the partition, the state of India became a problem of Pakistan and India and no longer British's problem. Why? Because India was at war with itself now, because it was split into pieces. Since it was split into pieces, it became a problem for India to solve, and it was no longer everyone patted Britain on the back for setting India free, instead of actually causing a massive problem to begin with. That's basically kind of what happened, and it's just insane, absolutely insane. They should have stayed there longer, tried to figure it out, make sure everything was done. There was a actually governance system in place.
In 1947, that Assam and Northeast will become a part of India. Salit, which had Muslim majority, was separated from Assam and it was partitioned. Eastern part Karimganj joined Assam and Salit joined East Pakistan. However, actually all the states of Northeast have their own dramatic and interesting story of joining the Indian Union. As we know that after the partition of British India, all the princely states were advised to join one country. So both India and Pakistan started negotiations with the rulers of the princely states along their borders. The rulers of most of the states signed a document called Instrument of Accession, which meant that their state agreed to become a part of the Indian Union. Here were the Khasi states, a federation of 25 Khasi princely states. Most of the Khasi chiefs had signed the Instrument of Accession with India in 1947 itself. But some chiefs had different demands. After negotiations with them, by March 1948, all the 25 chiefs signed the Instrument of Accession and the Khasi states became a part of India. On this side, just a few days before independence, Manipur's King Bhatachandra Singh signed the Instrument of Accession with the Indian government, on one condition that Manipur will get internal autonomy. That is, India will handle Manipur's defense, external affairs and communication. But India will not interfere in Manipur's internal politics and Manipur will have its own constitution. However, a section of Manipur did not agree with this and they wanted Manipur to remain independent. Due to public pressure, the Maharaja had to hold elections in Manipur in 1948 and Manipur became the first part of India where democratic elections were held. However, no party got majority in the elections and the Maharaja's supported party Praja Shanti Party formed the government along with Manipur Krishak Sabha and Manipur became a constitutional monarchy. After this, there were heated discussions in the Legislative Assembly of Manipur whether Manipur should merge with India or not. India obviously could not afford all this. Manipur is at a very important strategic location. It provides India a route to Southeast Asia. If Manipur's autonomy continued, the feeling of separatism could have increased here. The influence of neighboring countries like Myanmar and China could also have increased in Manipur's internal politics, which would have become a big threat to India's security and stability. In 1949, when the Maharaja of Manipur was on a visit to Shillong, the Indian government put him under house arrest and pressure was put on him to sign the agreement for the merger of Manipur with India.
Politics.
The Maharaja had to sign the merger agreement under pressure without discussing it with his elected assembly. Manipur now became a part of India completely. Like other states, without any autonomy or special status, many political bodies of Manipur opposed it. But if India had not done this, then perhaps the condition of Manipur today could have been like that of Jammu and Kashmir. The story of Tripura has also been different. The last king of Tripura, Veer Vikramanikeya, died in May 1947, just before Indian independence, due to which his son Kiri Vikramanikeya had to take over the throne. But as he was a minor at that time, his mother, i.e. King Veer Vikram's wife, Queen Kanchan Prabha Devi of Tripura, took over the administration charge in his place. The queen merged the kingdom of Manipur into the Indian Union in 1949, 2 years after independence, because she thought this was the best option. Tripura had a Hindu majority for the future of the kingdom and its people. The Constitution of India came into effect in 1950. Assam got statehood and special provisions were made for the tribal areas of India under the 6th schedule. In 1956, Tripura and Manipur got the status of Union Territory. After Assam, Nagaland was the first state in the northeast to get statehood. But there was a very complex and long history of separatism behind its formation. After the formation of Nagaland, the demand for creating separate states in other hill districts of Assam also increased. In 1970, Meghalaya Autonomous State was created by combining Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills, which got the status of a full-fledged state in 1972. In the same year, Tripura and Manipur also got the status of states and Mizoram was made a union territory, which again got the status of a state in 1987. The story of Mizoram has also been as complex as that of Nagaland.
Gosh.
The case of Arunachal Pradesh remained peaceful. This region was very sensitive due to the border with China and the war in 1962, due to which it was directly under the central government. It was also made a union territory in 1972 and got the status of a full-fledged state in 1982. Sikkim also has its own complex story. After India's independence,
The fact that the changes are happening not so long ago, it's insane. Like the whole, like even in like Kashmir, the fact that the invasion, the forcing out of people happened not that long ago. It's like 26 years, or no, 36 years, sorry. 36 years.
Signed a treaty with India and it became a protectorate of India. After this, for many years, Sikkim remained as one of the 3 Himalayan kingdoms along with Nepal and Bhutan. Due to increasing tension between India and China, Sikkim became very important for India for the security of the Siliguri corridor. After the political crisis between Sikkim and India, in 1973, India overthrew the monarchy of Sikkim and took control of Sikkim.
Regime
A
change.
referendum was held in 1975 and 97% of Sikkimese voted to abolish the monarchy and merge with India. Sikkim became the second state of India. You know, there is still a lot of information to share about the Northeast. Like the complex and deep story of Nagaland,
Holy
Mizoram,
crap.
and Sikkim joining the Indian Union. There
That
are dozens
was
of separatist
a
movements which have
lot.
often led to violence. Complicated border disputes between the states of the Northeast, illegal immigration from Bangladesh and Myanmar, tribal and religious conflicts and demographic change, new states' demands, cross-border tensions, involvement of China and Myanmar in northeastern politics, strategies, and number of future infrastructure projects for connectivity, and many more which I obviously will not be able to cover in this video.
Yeah,
Do
that's
let
just
us know in
crazy.
the comments if I should make a second part of this Northeast.
That's just crazy. There's so much. Like I was thinking, oh, why is it this small little branch of India is here? It's just hanging off the end. I mean, like Alaska. How did Alaska become a part of America? Well, it was purchased from Russia. And how did Hawaii become a part of America? Like a lot of that stuff is just like it's fast, but it's not. It's like the fact that like, Alaska. It's like, oh, it was purchased. It was purchased. Yeah. I think it was Andrew Jackson, the president, who purchased it. But it's simple. It's a simple story. Do I know the entire history of Alaska? No. But that's a simple explanation. I was expecting kind of the same thing. It was just like, why is this little segment? These seven sisters. This tiny little arm hanging off the edge of India. And then, because why is Bengal like right there? Why is it right there? And it's just like, okay. But yeah, I mean, I found that pretty interesting. I mean, it could have been simpler, couldn't have been simpler, but it's the fact that it's like surrounded, like completely, like Bengal is literally inside of India, which used to be part of Pakistan. But yeah, it's inside of India. But I gotta say, I did enjoy that. I did enjoy that. There was a lot of information there. A lot of it goes over my head. I did enjoy the AI footage. It's very ridiculous, very stupid. But it helps get the movement on screen, helps with drawing attention, because sometimes you just need movement for people to pay attention, because everyone now is like the kids needing to see keys jingles. That is society now.
You guys got a video? It's so bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, wait on that.